And now, we will look at the Greek tragedy. A tragedy is a drama that reveals the downfall of a basically good person through one of their bad choices. It produces suffering for the protagonist and arouses pity and fear from the part of the audience. We end with a purging or cleansing of emotions. According to Aristotle, there are three main principles of a Greek tragedy. A true tragedy should make the audience feel pity or fear. The tragic hero must be an admirable and good person, and the tragic hero's downfall must come because of his or her personal error or bad decision. A true tragedy must make the audience feel pity or fear. The goal is that we receive a purging or cleansing of emotions. The tragic hero must be a good and admirable person, because the goal is that the more admirable a person is, the greater will be our anxiety or grief at his or her downfall. The tragic hero's downfall must be because his or her bad decision. According to Aristotle, there is no such thing as a victim of tragedy. The tragedy is our own fault. A tragedy must have the following 6 parts: plot, characters, theme, diction, song, and spectacle. Remember that plot is simply the order of events that occur in a work of literature. A tragedy must have a clear beginning, middle, and end. The incentive moment that starts the cause and effect, the climax, the highest point of excitement or the turning point, and the resolution or the denouement. Greek tragedies typically feature a 3-act structure. View the definitions of the 3 acts and what they might mean in terms of the plot. Tragedies can have simple or complex plots. A simple plot reveals a catastrophe, or simply a change in fortune for the protagonist. A complex plot not only has a catastrophe, but it also includes a plot reversal and a tragic recognition or insight, where the protagonist learns a lesson. Greek culture strongly believed in fate, and their ideas about fate appeared throughout their many Greek tragedies. All tragedies have a tragic hero, who has a change of fortune from good to bad. His fortune is changed due to some poor error or decision he has made. Typically, the tragic hero's error is due to hubris, or excessive pride. This results in his or her misfortune. Aristotle notes that the tragic hero must have a fatal flaw. They don't have to die at the end, but they must undergo a change in fortune, and they must recognize something about human fate and learn a lesson. Like all works of literature, tragedies must have a theme that reveals the main idea or thought of the drama. Diction, or the choice of words, is important to engage the viewer or listener. For example, the use of figurative language such as metaphors engages the audience with imagery. Song or melody is the musical element of the chorus, who might sing during the play. Aristotle argues that the chorus should be fully integrated into the play like an actor, not a random interjection. Spectacle, also known as special effects, are not as important when reading the work of literature. In review, a tragedy should evoke pity or fear from the audience. A tragedy must have a tragic hero, someone who is a good person with a tragic flaw. And the tragic hero must have a downfall that occurs due to his or her mistake or pride. Note and study the 3 important terms below that Aristotle coined to describe a tragedy. You are now ready to read and analyze your very own Greek tragedy.
Created using Powtoon.